Hello, Facebook ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hello, guys. We're here today in podcast 111, 111. Today we have several topics and several questions, so I'm going to go straight away to the topics. No, actually, before that, I would like to tell you about the results. This week, Wednesday was a good day, and the weekend was pretty good before that. Monday was one of the worst days that I have seen this year. So if you have results that are bad right now and you see some bad results and stuff, don't panic. It was very bad for everyone this Monday, so don't worry about it. And I think it's recovering, at least on my end. They are doing pretty well again, but Monday was pretty now, today's main topic is a new beta test that was proposed to us for one of the brands that I'm working with. We're not going to move forward with it. I will tell you my argument about it. It was partially funded, and let's read what the email said. I want to confirm we still had coupons available before sending over the details. It would be a 5K coupon for a 20K test in a month. Please see details below and stuff. Let's go to the test. Our ads delivery product team is conducting a partially funded beta test for value optimization for profit with Shopify. And we believe you would be an ideal participant. The test will compare the performance of conversion optimization or value optimization. You can choose one of the two. Maximum number of conversions or optimizing for value for purchase with value optimization for profit. This is the test. This is a new thing that they are going to, instead of trying to give you better, bigger orders, bigger AOV into the orders, they will try to give you bigger profit. I'm thinking, in order for you to do that, you need to have access to my profit margins. And I continue. The test will be a two-cell A/B test with a partially funded with up to 5K in ad credits per participant. After campaign completion, the team would like to receive blah blah. Ideal candidate profile. Their margin and purchase price are not strongly correlated. Accurately reports cost per item on Shopify. This is where they are going to start getting the profit margins. Uses dynamic ads at an ad level or is willing to do for testing. Okay, and then we have Cell 1, sales campaign with conversion optimization or value optimization for purchase. For us, it was proposed to use value optimization and value optimization for profit. So, in one, we will go for higher AOV. In the other one, it will try to sell items that they have better profit margins, whatever that may be. So, sales campaign with value for value optimization for profit is Cell 2, A/B test, sales, blah, blah. Duration 21 days, I thought it was 30, sorry. There are two ways for advertisers. Now let's go to the main topic here, which is how are you going to get my profit margins? Because to be honest with you, this is my disagreement. I don't want Facebook to know the profit margins of a brand because maybe Facebook thinks that 20% is good for the brand. Why? I don't want to share this information. Now you might say, it has already this information from Shopify. Okay, I'm not going to do a test with it at least. Now, there are two ways for advertisers to share cost data with Shopify and by extension with Meta. One via Shopify UI or via Shopify API. Shopify UI, Shopify allows advertisers to share back cost per item in their system. We know that. You can see how this looks to an advertisement below, and it has this image over here that shows it. We need to ensure that the data being sent back by advertisers is accurate. So you need to fill all of this information properly. Please go to product tab and do that. Now, the interesting part, via Shopify API. Shopify has a guide on how to use their API here, which covers how to add unit costs. You can see an example on how it's done here, and it has the code over here for us to see. Now, this is if you are interested on that, again, you know the process, ask your Meta reps, maybe they have a coupon code about this. you have a visual email of how it looks and stuff, and you can show them and you can say, I'm interested in doing that. Am I a little bit conspiracy theorist that I'm afraid of doing that because I don't want to Meta know my profit margins? Yes, and I don't care about it. You can call me however you want, but I'm not going to do it from this perspective because I'm afraid. The attribution setting that was the incremental one, I tested it. We lost also money with a brand on this test from Meta because it was zero funded, I think. So I'm not against of doing tests for new things that Meta has, but I'm against of sharing so much information with Meta. I'm a little bit afraid of how they're going to use this information against me when the time comes. Of course, this is an established brand. I don't think that it would be an issue, but on the other hand, my proposal to the client was not to do it because I'm a little bit skeptical on that on the way that Meta wants to super control everything, even with Advantage Plus things of all the settings, and you put only the creatives and stuff. What is next? Are you going to tell me also what kind of profit margins am I going to have? I know it sounds strange in the way that I think of it, but if you see how Meta treats the information that it gets, you will see that it makes sense eventually. Now, let's go to the news that we have new placements over here for threads and stuff. It's over here. You can see a print screen over here for the threads, of course. Now, does it matter? No, because I'm still going to use automatic placements, so it's going to be there. For sure, we will have to break down the results. From my test, breaking down the results is not spending to threads and stuff. But for sure, it's a new placement, and we will see how it's gonna do. There is another thing that Meta announced. They announced that they are going to have an AI image creation thing, and they're going to create, you're going to be able to create images to use on as ads over there with the help of an AI. And there's going to be also ad placements there eventually and so on. So it's going to be an ecosystem that Meta is going to add different placements. As Meta says, we first build something, we do grow it, and then we look at revenue. The same thing happened with Threads. They build it with followers and people that they registered and they made profiles, and now they try to monetize it with the placements. There's going to be the Threads feed over here. And for sure, as far as I can see right now, by breaking down the results, there is not much spend over there or much action. I'm going to use it anyway because I'm using automatic placements. I'm not going to use manual placements for now because I have seen that it's causing problems. The only question that I have about the thread placements on the feed over here is that when I'm using it, by the way, it recommends 16 by 9 and square 1 by 1 images for the thread feed. So we will all use 1 by 1. So we're being covered on that. The only thing that bothers me here, or I cannot explain, is that it has, for example, Threads profile. Is it creating this on its own? Because in this brand, for example, that I have tested it, and of course I'm not going to show the name of the brand over here, it created one profile on Threads on its own, or it said that it's going to be, because it doesn't even have an image or whatever. So it does create a profile so that you can be able to use it. I don't know. But what I know is that I have never created a profile with this brand on Threads. So most likely this is something that Meta is taking care for us if we use the Threads feed placement. Now, and before we close this topic about the thread placements, I have nothing to tell you about it, because still we haven't seen any significant spend to it. If it's working or not, we will use it anyway because of automatic placements, so not much to say. It's just a gossip. Thread placements is here. Facebook notifications over here, it's a new placement that I have seen that we have, and basically on your notification is going to appear on the right side, and it says You might be interesting in the Wind and Woof, the example it has here. Winter Night just got a whole lot cozier. So, from my understanding about this one and testing a little bit, playing a little bit with it, it's using the profile image of the page and then it's generating on its own text. So it's not like you can control the text that you can have there. I don't know if this is going to change in the future and stuff, but for sure this is a new placement that we have. Nothing much. Also here, I haven't seen any crazy spend on this one, so that it's going to be worth to analyze it on a technical level. So right now, this is also a gossip. That's the things for today as main topics, and let's go to your questions. We have Mike over here. Hello, Kay. Quick question. As I'm setting up a fresh wave of Facebook ads, our company offers two wellness products. Let's call them product A and B. They're similar in what they do. Both are audio-based well-being programs, but up to now, we've only advertised product A, focused specifically on the anxiety niche. Perfect. We built up a solid amount of data on our pixel from all our product A campaigns and it's working well, perfect. Now we're gearing up to launch new angles for product B, this time targeting different niches like insomnia, burnout, stress, professionals, etc. Here's my question. Would you recommend running all of this under the same pixel we'd be using for product A, or we set up a new pixel specifically for product B since the target audience and angles are quite different? Since product B is going to be on the same website as product A, I don't think that you should use a different pixel. I think you should go with the same. Main thing is I don't want to mess up the performance data for product A. Don't worry about messing this. The worst case scenario is that product B is not going to have good results as it would have with a trained pixel of its own, but still, it's okay if you're in the same niche. We don't want to train pixels for just one product. If it's possible, we want to train pixels for a whole niche. While testing all these new campaigns for product B, would love to hear what you think. I think you should do it on the same ad account with the same pixel since it's similar products, trying to get also sales for this product and training better your pixel. Do you understand correct that advantage sales campaigns are working best, but if we don't yet have it, then CBO plus one ad set plus many creatives is best alternative. Advanced sales campaigns, it's not that they are working better. It's the new feature that Meta is going to bring, that you're not going to do ASC campaign differently, advanced shopping campaign and manual campaign. It's going to be one thing. And this is what I'm referring to, that if you have the new setup about advanced sales campaigns, then what you are going to see is that, what I'm seeing at least, is that CBO with one ad set is what is working better for me. Okay, let's continue with the questions. What about adding new products to the product set that has already running catalog ads? Obviously, he's referring to a video that I have, and I'm saying that you should not add new creatives in a working ASC or in a working campaign. Now, the thing with this is that he's talking about the catalog and adding new products. This is going to happen anyway. If you have products and the catalog is getting automatically renewed with the products and stuff, but this is not an issue because you're not touching, basically adding new ads in the ad set. What about having two identical campaigns with same product set? One is max conversion number and the other one max conversion value. Will that be an issue? Again, when I see this kind of questions, I'm having the sense that someone is bored or lazy to do new creatives and try the things that we're discussing on the daily loop theory. It can work with smaller budgets, but how many times are you going to pull these tricks in order for you, or the crazy method is a cheat, for example? Okay, you can scale a little bit more, but eventually you cannot keep doing that. You have to do the hard work of doing new creatives, new angles, and all of these kind of things. Now, this thing about maximum conversion with the same creative and stuff, it's abuse of the same creative. It depends on what budget you have. If you have big budgets, of course, it's going to be an issue. On smaller budgets, you're just splitting. So I don't see how this is a solution. No, the point is to target both single product buyers and also buyers who purchase the sell up products with higher AOV. And because of the catalog, I'm limiting in using multiple creatives. That's why I asked if such an approach would be valid with catalog ads. If you are limited with catalog ads, do normal creatives. I mean, there are cases that they say I'm limited with catalog ads. Okay, and what do you do about that? Okay, I explained before, it depends on the budgets and stuff. On smaller budgets, it would be okay. Hi Konstantinos, how many sales do you think it takes before a pixel stops feeling new? It's not about the sales as a number. We cannot say that each pixel, for example, needs 100 sales. It's about the niche. If the niche is a traveling niche, which is huge, if the niche is football, it's smaller. If the niche is volleyball, it's even smaller. If the niche is fishing, it's bigger. So it really depends on the niche. The bigger the niche, the more data you need. But for sure, you can feel like a pixel is not feeling like it's new when you are starting to have more stability. So you launch a campaign, it doesn't die immediately, and you do it again and again and again, and you don't have problems with that. So this is when a pixel feels that it's more stable and more trained. Of course, things like if it's working with pro targeting, if it's working with lookalikes and stuff, you can understand where your pixel is based on the targeting that is working better for you and you have better CPMs. But for me, a trained pixel means that you have stability, that the campaigns don't die immediately. Hi, thank you for sharing your experience. I have a question regarding a lead generation campaign I'm managing in the US with a daily budget of 2,000 using broad targeting. The average cost per lead is around 60. There is also a second campaign with the same budget targeting 1% and 3% lookalike audiences CBO. Okay. Due to client restrictions, we start with a bad thing, okay? I'm limited to using 7 specific creatives. Okay, so the client is giving you the restriction of 7, but then he also tells you, I want lower cost per lead. How is this possible, you know? My goal is to scale the results slightly while lowering the cost per lead. This is never going to happen. If you want scaling and lowering the cost per lead is a wet dream that is not going to happen, my friend. Okay. I found that using a bid cap strategy with a target of 45 had delivered better performance. Yeah, but they're not spending. So the campaign doesn't always spend the full budget. Of course, it's a cost cap. Most of the spend tends to concentrate on just one creative. To address this, I'm considering creating multiple bid cap campaigns, each one dedicated to a different creative, campaign 1, creative 2, yeah, and all of that. This way I can better control distribution and potentially improve efficiency across all creatives. No, it's not going to help you because they are not going to spend. The problem with cost caps and bid caps is that they are not spending necessarily to what kind of results you actually want. You need to increase the bid in order to see if it's going to spend more and so on. The volume over here is not going to solve the problem because each one of them is spending 86. If you do multiple ad sets, each one is going to spend 86, so you will spend more. Most likely the others are not going to spend, okay? Does this approach make sense, or would you suggest another strategy? I would suggest to do other creatives because, you know, reality is reality. And if the client says use only 7 creatives, then this is the problem of the client. It's not your problem that you will have to solve with a magic strategy. Cost caps and stuff are going to help you a little bit, but that's it. If you want to keep scaling, you need to use more creatives. That's the end of story. But for sure, understand that cost caps is not like, okay, you're not spending all the 200 that I'm putting to you, but you're spending 50. So instead of doing one ad set, I will do 4 and I will spend 50, 50, 50, 50, 200. It's not going to happen because it's still an auction. Hello Kostas, at 8 minutes of your video you say 1 ABO for cost caps or bid caps per account with one ad set. I'm saying one campaign with several ad sets. So basically the structure that I have in the ad accounts right now is that I launch a campaign with the structure that I have found that's working, the budget, whatever. And then I do also inside an ABO campaign that I have one ad set, which is cost cap with the cost cap that I have found in the other account that's working. So this is the thing. So it's one campaign with several ad sets. Each of the ad sets is one of the campaigns that I have outside of this ABO. I'm wondering about the structure of the ABO cost cap campaign because I'm interested to test it. Thanks in advance. I think I replied. So interested in lookalikes to retrain the pixel. Retrain the pixel. So he's referring to a video that I have done. They have trained their pixel. They were doing broad targeting broad, but eventually broad targeting became super expensive. So what I did is instinctively, I came and I did lookalikes and interests, just one campaign, nothing crazy. And then immediately broad targeting got better. So my concept and theory at that point is that I unclogged basically the pixel by just doing one campaign with interests, and this has helped it for broad to do better. Maybe it got lost along the way. You can try it if you think that your broad targeting is becoming more and more expensive, but this is one of the really rare cases, that it was intriguing at that point because I did a video because of what I have found, but don't start thinking now that because you have 100 CPM, you will do an interest campaign and CPM will drop to 70. Okay, this was an exceptional case. That's all, guys. That's all the questions that I had for today from you and the topics, and I will see you guys on the next one. This is the end of the first part of the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. If you don't want to miss the second half of the podcast, where I'm answering all the remaining questions of the week, visit my Patreon page following the link on the description. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.